Guys, Wade from 7 p.m. prayer, hanging out, getting ready to load Ranger back up from the beauty shop. And let me tell you, I had to get her ready for the beauty shop this time too. She rolled in something out there, and usually she rolls in stuff that doesn't stink that bad, but this stuff stunk. Something dead. So I had to get her cleaned up so she could get cleaned up. And now she's going to be smelling, looking, I'm sure, incredibly beautiful. But I wanted to go over, it feels like it's been forever with the holiday since I've done one of these, but I wanted to go over day 14 in our School of Prayer. And ironically, day 14 is about the unity of prayer and Christians praying together. So, you know, it really emphasized this amazing gift we've been given of prayer, and then stacking on top of that how we're able to create this, you know, synergy by praying together. And again, we've gotten so used to hearing about it, we've gotten so used to just it being the norm, that we really don't quite take it in that God has given us a way to use the maximum of His ability to help us and the world and our friends and everybody through praying together. You know, I think one of the, we've got a train going by here, I don't know if you can see it. You know, one of the things that's kind of surprised me about the 7 p.m. prayer is how a lot of the people I've run it by that ask me questions about it, or friends or whatever that have heard about it, I can tell that it sounds interesting to them. Sounds like a nice concept. They like it, but when it comes right down to it, I don't know how many people are actually praying at 7 p.m. So I'm praying about that, you know, because obviously this wasn't even my idea. I mean, like I mentioned, if you watched my very first video, or if you're a close friend, you know this, but I mean, I was just out hiking in the woods with Ranger, and this thing dropped in my mind about, you know, 7 p.m. prayer. It is what the name is, so no one has to wonder, what time are those guys praying? What, you know, it's at 7 p.m. And then the other piece of it was just this idea that our biggest weakness is the very thing Jesus prayed about us not to do, which was disunity. He wanted us to be united and one as He and the Father were one. So if we could take this huge power, prayer, and we could take our disunity as Christians and heap it all together, praying together, then all of a sudden we would overcome our weakness with our greatest strength. So again, you've probably heard that before, but just in case, I wanted to run through that again. Anyway, the point is that this wasn't put together to be a neat concept. This wasn't put together because it sounds interesting. This was put together to harness the power of Christians and in praying together. Now, I also understand from having been in business for 30 years that things don't always just like come together and coalesce in, you know, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 months, maybe a year even. So it may take a while for this to come together. And that's fine. You know, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to keep doing this because God put it to me, and so I'm not going to, you know, shirk the task. But that has been a surprise to me, and that's what this chapter was about, was just the fact that there is such amazing power in unified prayer, and we need to take that real serious. And, you know, another part, selfishly in taking it seriously too, is just that, you know, we are going to be looked at in terms of what did we do relative to our ability to do something for God, for Christ. And this is something we can all do. We can't all prophesy. We can't all put in, you know, a full-time schedule helping this, that, or the other. But we can pray at 7 p.m. And again, that was a time that God chose, but to me it's a great time because it's after dinner and it's not so late that you're getting sleepy and ready to go to bed. So I suppose that's why he chose it. But it's not going to ever be easy. It's just like we've been doing it, and it's you're not doing nothing at 7 such that you can go from doing nothing to doing something. You have to imposition your schedule and in order to pull it off. I also don't have some rule with it that I have to do it 7 days a week. I really find that God is not a rules guy. He's a love my way guy. So God wants me to love the way he set things up, to love his rules, to love all of that. But he doesn't want me to come up with a whole bunch of new things that I've got to jump through hoops on. So I'm not going to come up with I've got to do this every day at 7 p.m. Just like I don't have to do videos every day. But I like to do these videos. I want to do my part for God, and I want to keep the consistency going out there. So again, focus on, type into Google, the whole where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, and pull up a few of those verses that talk about the power of unified prayer, and get yourself fired up to start praying with your family. And maybe for some of you, you for sure can't pray at 7 because of a job obligation or something. You have to do what you have to do. But get together with people and pray and see results come from that. Believe, have faith. That's what we all got to do more of. We got to believe God is who he says he is, and that he can do what he says he can do. All right, you guys, on that note, 7 p.m. tonight, all of us praying together, and I appreciate you.